This is the new Cube Stereo Hybrid 140 HPC TM625. I know the name may not sound that catchy, but stick with me because I think you are going to want to know about this bike. At £4,699 for this particular model, you get 140 mils of rear travel, 150 mils of front travel, the new Bosch CX Generation 4 motor, PowerTube 625 battery, Magura MT7 brakes, and that's all strapped to a carbon front triangle and alloy rear triangle. That's a pretty good package. For 2020, Cube has updated its entire e-bike range to have better cable routing and easier access to the battery area, which should help both dealers and customers, reducing workshop time by up to 80% for some tasks. In 2019, Cube saw the Stereo 140 Hybrid show the biggest market increase, so it's put some effort into updating it for this year. It's a touch lighter than in the past and has shorter chainstays for better handling. The geometry is pretty conservative, but Cube is targeting the masses and most will find that this bike feels pretty normal. I got to ride it for a couple of hours and I have to say that I do think the new Bosch motor is an improvement on previous generations, but it is still quite noisy, which does drive me a little bit nuts, especially when you put the effort in on the climbs and you have that kind of sound like there's a mosquito in your ear. I like to hear the birds and not the motor when I'm riding. There's also a bit of a ratchet sound when you're backpedaling, which again takes a bit of getting used to, and you do need to do that backpedaling. I got really frustrated with pedal strikes in the beginning of riding this bike until I got used to approaching an obstacle a little bit faster than I might think was necessary, and then kind of using my body weight to get up and through it, just to counteract that drop off in speed that you get with the motor stopping when you stop pedaling. I was really surprised at how nimble and agile this bike felt. It's definitely not light, but I could still flick it and wriggle it in and out of rocky obstacles, across routes, and even hopping off the odd lip. I did notice that I needed that lip or sender in order to be able to get airborne. I couldn't just jump from flat on it, but perhaps with a little more practice and maybe some upper body exercises, I might get the strength there to do that. The trails we were riding were rocky and rooty and had plenty of opportunity for puncture, and neither I nor anyone else in my group experienced a puncture during the whole ride, which was something of a surprise to me, I have to admit. I did feel instantly confident riding this bike downhill. It got me through some slippery routes and some wriggly little single track that I might have thought twice about riding on an e-bike previously, but to be honest, I was just too busy having fun on the trails to really notice that it was even an e-bike. One thing I really think added to my enjoyment of this bike was the effectiveness of the Magura MT7 brakes. They really did allow me to stop when I wanted to, slow when I wanted to, and just gave me a feeling of being in control, even on the slippery routes and trails that we were riding. I do think that lots of people will be tempted to go for the 160 Stereo Hybrid with the bigger travel, which comes at the same price point. However, I do think that would be a mistake. I think this TM model at £4,699 with a carbon front end frame is going to be really hard to beat in the year ahead. It offers great value for money. It's going to be available from your local bike shop, so you've got the confidence of being able to go back and get any maintenance needs dealt with. And all round, this looks like a great package for 2020. If you're looking for a big hitting e-bike that will handle really pretty much anything that you could throw at it in the UK. Hop on over to Singletrack World for more information on this bike, other bikes in the Cube 2020 range, and loads of other great mountain biking content.